Episode 18 of the Utility Players Podcast, June 1st, 2021. Welcome to the podcast, boys and girls.
This guy just said 200
and girls.
21st.
Yeah. 200. Wait.
Gotcha.
20. What did he say?
2021.
He said 2021.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, guys? How was your Memorial Day weekends?
Sure. I mean, I worked Saturday and Sunday. Last day at Verizon for the boy. No more retail.
Retirement party?
Yeah. I hung up. Yeah, it was kind of poetic justice because on Sunday I worked by myself, so it kind of just recapped my whole.
Have a food? They have a food day for you?
No, hell no. I was in that bitch grinding by myself. I hung up my shirt in the rafters.
I was gonna ask that too. Did the Verizon shirt go up? The polo?
And then yesterday I kind of just chilled, took a nap, watched a few videos on certain things that I'm doing right now, and that's about it. Nothing crazy.
Damn. What's it feel like to not be there? By the way, that's some Wells Fargo stuff. Damn it. That's some Wells Fargo stuff too.
You want to run that back?
No.
Okay.
What do you call it? Having food days when people are leaving. You know?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Must
my
be
gosh.
nice.
Just mass.
They didn't give a fuck about Floyd. They were just like, work solo. No one's gonna say bye. Collect your check. We'll send it to you.
Yeah,
like,
that's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to AT&T. Fuck that.
Yeah.
it is what it is. Of course, I had like 3 or 4 people call me today. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go by and see you." I'm like, "No, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be there.
I won't be here."
So yeah, now
That's
a
just
little bittersweet, but
Just the next chapter in your book,
yeah, on a new
It is.
beginnings. So
Next
I'll be
chapter.
all right.
Big and exciting things. I went to
I haven't
the
known what day it was. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I went to the Inter Miami game. Second game was pretty fun. They lost 3-0. I had no idea it was 3-0 because the supporter section doesn't stop cheering, so you don't know if they scored or there's no difference. It's consistent. So I was like, oh, it's 3-0. We lost. All right, let's go home. Like an hour and a half later. Pretty fun though.
Weekend was good for me. I had 2 graduation parties, which was nice, I guess. Yeah, it was fun. Did some stuff around the house. I crushed my garage, hung more stuff up. I did a bunch of house stuff.
Did some dad things.
Home improvement at Ben's house.
It's not a holiday weekend unless you do some dad stuff.
Went and had some drinks with Mr. Montana.
Eh?
Huh?
Eh?
Yeah, it's chill.
All right, so let's with NBA playoffs going on,
my weekend, right?
obviously.
Fuck my weekend.
Go ahead. I thought you put in some input real quick while I was looking down. Talk about it. Unless you better have something now.
Is he on a delay?
I don't know, but I feel like I'm on a 4-day bender. I had no idea what day it was during this weekend.
Schoolboy gravy over here.
Right. Took off today. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. He actually has a song called Gravy. Yeah, I took off today, so as you can see by my outfit, I have no idea what's going on in life.
Yep.
It was beautiful out. I had a 7:45 tee
yeah.
time, and it took me like 17 hours to play. And this weekend was good. Went to the brewery, golf twice. No complaints.
You look like a cardboard cutout when people are in class and they want to pretend they're paying attention, so they would cut out.
Oh my God, he does.
Right? Like
he does.
That's why when you said, "Is he on delay or something?" I was like, "Is he talking?" I can't. He just didn't move at all.
If you were a teenager right now and your mom came in your room and saw like a hump in the bed, it was like, "Oh, little Jimmy's sleeping" or whatever. She'd whip those covers over and it'd be just a cardboard cutout of Nick's face right now, just laying there like this. Yeah, that's what you look
cardboard.
Like. Yeah.
So
let's it's sunny out in Iowa again, so
yeah, it's gonna be hot this weekend.
Hopefully it's a good summer for you guys. Pray for you because you guys only get 2-3 months.
About 2-3 weeks.
It'll be nice till
2-3 weeks.
It'll be nice till probably mid-September.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it'll start to get, colder. It won't get real cold till this end of December, January. January is the worst month. January and February blow.
Agreed.
Yep.
So let's set off this episode with, kind of news that broke yesterday. And this is a topic that everybody could relate to as far as, mental health, depression, anxiety. Naomi Osaka withdrew from the French Open. At first, she put out a statement or was questioned and said, hey, I'm not going to do any, post media match, interviews or conferences before and after. And then she put out a statement. If you didn't read the statement, obviously go on ESPN, whatever. But it's major news because, somebody that's, very young in their low 20s on top of their game is going through something. And, you got different ways to view it as a human, as an athlete, as a media person, or just, somebody as a fan of hers that want to watch, because Kyrie's done this all year. But obviously when Kyrie did it, he was criticized a little bit more. But I think as more athletes come out and do this, maybe we'll see some normalcy. But what do you guys think about, kind of how she went about it, the whole state of, mental health with athletes and basically any human being individually?
Kyrie had her back too.
Yeah, he did. A lot of people have her back. And for the people who are complaining and bitching and have a problem with this, I want them to be in those individuals' shoes and have to deal with what they have to deal with. And I want to see how that goes for them. I want to see how they handle it before they start talking about how these kids, 20s, and was Kyrie 30 now?
28.
Yeah.
Okay,
29.
so
28.
20s, regardless, which you're still a kid. And Ben said it the other day, is like, people always say the 20s are like the best years of our lives. Well, now like the 30s are probably the best years of your life because you're matured and you have a life and a set income and you're good. But it's like, dude, they're in the public limelight, and hey, maybe not her individually or Kyrie individually, but maybe people don't handle it the best way. They're learning. Like it's something that they're learning how to do with on the fly in front of millions of people every day. So, I mean, look, she's stated before, I was told that she has like these mental issues and she feels severely uncomfortable doing, interviews and stuff before and after the events. So just like leave it alone. If she doesn't want to talk, I hate this rule that players are, or athletes are required to speak directly after games and matches.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Because you're going to get emotional response, rightly
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I know it's hard with like games being back to back, tennis matches being back to back, or every other day, but like maybe waiting a day and then like talking to them the next day, or like with baseball, basketball, football, when the guys go in the next day, have them talk before the game.
Yeah,
make them available now with Zoom calls, make them available at different times. But it's like, get over it.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, she's only 23. I mean, when I was 23, I was going through a lot of different things, and I can't imagine the things that she's going through being in that spotlight that she is on top of her game. I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to handle it, and not a lot of people or anyone that's bashing her or talking negative about it probably wouldn't be able to handle it either. So just like Gravy was saying, take a step back and be in their shoes for a second. They're human.
When I was 23, I probably was one of the dumbest humans on earth. So I don't even know how they do it, but I really was. But I've thought a lot about it this weekend, and I think of it twofold. One, I agree with Nick. I always have thought, and I've publicly stated that the post-game interviews that the players have to do, or they get fined, which is insane to me, is the dumbest thing ever. Like it's some sort of, what do you call it? Like requirement that they have to do. I know they make it a requirement, but it's the dumbest thing ever. If I was put in a position to do that, and you're going to interview me after an emotional sporting event, which I competed at the highest level with all my emotions and effort, then when I give you dumbass answers, then you better not say anything negative about me. You are talking to me in one of my most emotional states, so you expect emotional answers. So I applaud all athletes that try to keep their cool during those interviews and whatnot. Speaking of, one of my favorites was that Baylor basketball player in the NCAA tournament years
Dorian
ago. I don't know
Prince.
if you remember this. Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's like, what happened there? They out rebounded you, this. And he was like, well, they went up and you see, they grabbed the basketball off with two hands and they came down with it. And that's called a rebound. And they got more of those than we did.
I love that part. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
They got more of those than we did. Like,
Yeah.
Former
Though,
net.
if
Former
I was
net.
if I was a pro athlete, those are the answers I would give you all the time.
Yep.
All
Yes.
the time. I would not
And
be professional. I would not be anything to him. So if she doesn't want to do it, I'm totally fine with her not doing it. It's her choice. I think it should be a choice anyway. If I want to come talk to you or not come talk to you, especially when they're trying to keep their mindset into the actual professional, match that she's trying to compete in. At the other part of it, though, I do think that it is important for everyone to learn how to answer tough questions in tough moments. And I'm not saying that I'm saying anything negative about Naomi, but I do think that is also an important aspect of life, just generally learning how to answer tough questions in tough situations. I think it helps make you a better person. Again, not saying anything about this.
No,
that's just
true.
another facet to this. But if it's her choice and she wants to, the reaction you're seeing from people is exactly why people have mental health issues. People, athletes continue, there's a divide between them and journalists, and that you see these days you didn't see before, that you're going to continue to see. Kudos for them standing up. I hope more athletes do this and say, screw it. Why do I want to talk to you?
There's plenty of other times to have media availability.
The craziest thing ever too is like watching the Super Bowl, right? And then watching after you lose the Super Bowl, they interview people from the losing team. Could you imagine going and answering questions from strangers?
Who gives a fuck about the losing team?
Why you lost the game?
Yeah.
Hoping for a soundbite.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
To talk to a losing team.
Ray, you just said it too. Hoping for a soundbite. You're trying to take advantage of somebody.
Right.
And I hate that.
In their most vulnerable state. And as an athlete, when are you most vulnerable? When you lose, when you are in defeat, when you feel not confident about how you perform. That's exactly what Media 101 is that's what I'm gonna get you at your rawest. And that's usually what happens, is that's why athletes spaz on reporters.
Yeah. And to touch on something that you said, Ben, about like dumbass answers, I wouldn't even say it's that. It's just not the answer that the media is looking for. Like, who cares what the media wants? Like, I'm going to say what I want to say when I want to say it. Like, I shouldn't have to tailor my response to what you want to write on your article, what you want people to click for. So, I mean,
they're gonna, the writer's gonna go take something out of it and spin their article the way they want to do it anyway. So why do I need to answer your question?
That happened.
Fake ass article.
That happened to KD recently. Charles Barkley asked him a question about a month or two ago, and he gave an answer of yes or no. Yeah. And it got headlines because it was like, oh, KD's being defiant. It was like, and then somebody reached, or I think KD said on Twitter, or somebody defended, it was like, dumb questions get really simple and dumb answers. Yep. Ask a smart, intelligent basketball question, and you'll get because KD's not afraid to talk to the media. He's going to give you a long answer. And I've seen many interviews this year that he's done that. So if he's giving you a yes or a no answer, that means your question was very poking the bear a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. And I think all these players will speak to the media. And I think I just want to say something fast is I also don't think that it's fair for the athlete to go into the interview with this like notion that, oh, I'm going to answer these questions like this today. Or like, I'm just going to, like with Marshawn Lynch, and he was like, I'm just here so I won't get fined, or like things like that. Like, correct. Ask a smart question, have respect for the person that you're interviewing, the person that's giving you 5-10 minutes of their time after losing, winning, whatever, at a, high emotional state, and just ask respectful questions. But like you said, when you ask stupid questions, you're going to get stupid answers. And, back to Naomi is that how you say her name? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. It's really unfair that I don't know why it's like such a big deal. I really don't.
Well, the only thing
because it's taken away from the norm, sports, especially that sport, right?
Yeah.
Is probably made
individual
up of
sport too.
It's probably made up of a bunch of old time. You see it in a lot of baseball. Baseball has all these unwritten rules or the old time ways of baseball that anybody that does anything different, some of the old timers who have power in these sports throw a fit about. I think it's the same thing is why people are upset. Also, it's not the norm. Like people are upset that she won't answer questions or they think she's being a baby. Anything a pro athlete does.
She is. Like, in a sense, she is. Like, she is she's a young adult. Like, she is learning how to go through these situations. Yeah. And it's like, I feel just like everyone who has a problem with it, at 23, you were a fucking loser. And you, at this point in your life, cannot get up and speak and defend yourself of why you suck at your job in front of millions of people every day.
I also think it's a lot of people, and especially in American culture, maybe in world culture, we view athletes in a way, and this is going to be a weird word to say, but with kind of like entitlement or slave mentality. And I don't mean that in terms of anybody's race. What I mean is we view athletes. How many times have you heard that, shut up and dribble, don't talk, don't have any sort of opinion about anything?
Because they're just employees.
One, they view them as wealthy people who shouldn't have to complain or have any issues of their own in life. So when they do stand up for something that they don't view as something they should stand up for, they shut their mouth and answer the questions because they're getting paid millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. That's when people freak out. It's more of an entitlement. Like the athletes are there on display, I think, viewed in a lot of culture for our entertainment, and they should do what we want them to do. And when they don't, then that's when people freak out.
Is that only with athletes though? Because like I don't think not we as us in general or specifically, but I don't think we hold like artists or actors or actresses to that same standard. Because I mean, like a musician could say the same thing LeBron was saying, and no one would say "shut up and sing." You know how they tell LeBron "shut up and dribble." So
totally.
I think with artists, they put their music out or they go on these concert tours and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but they're constantly not in. Like Drake. When the fuck has anyone seen Drake lately besides, that event he was with LeBron? They're able to go hide and not actually be in front of a camera or, on TV every other day.
Benefit concerts for some sort of cause and, go out and talk about it. I agree with Danny there. To me, it's athletes, some reason with athletes.
Yeah, artists and musicians have always had a touch with the people because of music is for the people, the time, emotion. So I think historically musicians have always been linked with social, whether injustice or social changes. So I think that's why, to Danny's question of why do athletes get it? Because I feel like for as long as music's been around, it's always been tied with a decade or a time period. So they go almost together. So you almost respect or listen to an artist or a J. Cole or somebody like that, a Kendrick more. And then with athletes, they've tried to do it a few times, but then in the 90s, I watched a documentary where Michael Jordan never said anything politically because that was when the athletes were getting paid more money in the 90s. That was kind of like them going over the hill and getting more endorsements, and you didn't want to risk speaking out, and then losing that money. So now the players and athletes are actually more in control now than ever with their almost who they sign with, where before it was like, all right, you don't want to sign, we're just going to give somebody else this money. And now it's more pick and choose. So what I did want to end my opinion on was what Ben said was, I love that this is a topic and we could talk about it and look at athletes for once as human beings as well, but you can't run away from tough questions, hard times. You do have to deal with them. So with that being said, that we all said as far as, give her time if she wants to take time off, you also have to follow that up, in my opinion, by confronting and being bold and having a bad match. And that goes into, it's an individual sport. So all of her losses, all of her wins are on her versus a team sport where you could blame maybe 5, 6, 10 other individuals. So that's kind of what I'll end on my turn on that.
I got 2 quick things and then I'm done with this.
Yeah.
One is like I immediately thought of Marcus Stroman. I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter. I know Ben does. The guy is super positive, always posting quotes, like really big on the mind and his like core, and just always, the guy is always smiling. He's always positive no matter what. And it's crazy to see the disrespect or like the hate that he gets on a daily basis. You know, granted,
being positive and uplifting.
Correct, right? Because for some reason that puts out to the people that he doesn't care, or that, you know, he's not as invested, or, you know, oh, we lost 10 in a row, but like he's still happy. Like, no, like they're also human beings off the field. And it's wild. And, you know, whether it's people on Twitter or it's these reporters where most of this is generated from, because they're the ones who are crying. So my response to them would be, how about you do your job? And instead of in a world where people have become so thirsty for like getting the headline out first, or, you know, getting likes or retweets, how about you just sit down and like do your job and research and be a journalist instead of, you know, grabbing at these guys and girls for information when you know they are not in the best mind to, you know, give you the actual information that you want. So it gets back to everyone kind of just doing their part. And hey, if people are going through stuff and, you know, they're constantly in the limelight, let them go through it. People aren't always going to say the right things. We haven't always said the right things, and I think we're all doing pretty good. So I don't know.
Absolutely.
Hope it
Here's
gets
how,
better.
here's how you solve this. I think it's about the questions you ask. See, if I were a journalist, I would go in there and, you know, I'd ask Naomi or somebody. I wouldn't even ask anything about the game. I'd be like, Naomi, if you were to become a box of cereal, what would you become and why? Right? Questions that would just throw her off or get some interesting answer, or like get her mindset. And I'm like, what is this weirdo? And she'd be like, you know what? I'll be Fruity Pebbles.
Not immediately, why did you drop 2 sets today in your body language?
Right, exactly.
Right, yeah, right.
Unfortunately, media is a business still, though. So at the end of the day, you have your superior putting the pressure on you to create an article or create a headline that will sell us more magazines or newspapers or clicks. So the pressure, I get what you're saying, because I agree, but there's a business behind that side as well.
But I do think that there's people who, in my opinion, the most respected, successful writers, journalists, reporters, whatever, are the ones that are able to have these conversations off the camera with these athletes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I know who's the guy that's like really close with KD. Is it Chris Haynes, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, so. Something like that.
Yeah, like guys like that. You know, I know Rachel Nichols has conversations with these players and others.
That's for other reasons why she's close with athletes.
I knew he was going to say that. As soon as I said it, I looked right at him.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
But it's like writers like those in all sports who respect the athlete, that have the best stories and are ultimately, you know, successful and in good spots. So I mean, at least there's people doing it right. Yeah.
You know, they treat them like people instead of sound bites.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they do.
So speaking of and I'm so glad we spent more than probably 15 minutes on that, because that's something that everybody that listens to this podcast, that listens for sports or some of the randy, funny stuff that we talk about, that this is some real stuff that if you're going through it, hopefully, you know, you could either relate to these athletes and get through whatever you're going through. But let's kind of segue into another human topic, and what the hell is in the realm of what the hell is wrong with human beings, is the fans going crazy at these sporting events in basketball, where
fans are
for about 13, 14 months, people were not able to go and enjoy a sporting event with friends, family, and create those memories that we all, from, you know, us watching sports, have all went through, to now throwing popcorn on people as they're leaving, spitting on people, throwing a water bottle, racial slurs at their family members in the crowd. What the hell's going on in this world that we can't even act right at a
threw my body armor at you?
It's almost, to me, it's like, it's insane, right? This is insane. Like, have any of you ever gone to a game and at once thought in your head, I'm going to throw something at one of the players?
Never.
So one, I would love to sit down with one of these human beings and talk to them and be like, how in the world do you think that is acceptable to do? Like, first off, how do you think it's acceptable to do to a non-athlete, to just another human being?
They want to be
right.
And then how do you think you're going to do that to an athlete? Is insane. What's even more insane to me is we had like all those happen within either the same night or day, right? Then a couple days later was the Nets Celtics game, and someone threw a water bottle. That dude knew about everything that had happened previously, and he still went out and threw a water bottle at somebody. It's insane to me.
The fan ran on the court at the Wizards game.
Yeah, you know what? If one of these athletes gets a hold, I hope one of them gets a hold of you, and there should be no repercussions, because if that's how it's going to be in the world, if I am somewhere and someone throws popcorn on me or throws a water bottle on me or spits on me.
Yeah.
I mean, someone is not going to be I'll be writing letters to family members, let them know of their passing of their loved one.
Shout out Ron Artest, meta world peace.
Right?
Yeah, that's what it's going to have to come to.
Somebody threw a cup on him, and that man came.
This is what's going to happen.
Yeah,
this is what's going to
have to happen again.
It has to. I don't know if you guys saw this. I want to say it was this past weekend. It was at a minor league game. A guy threw up and in at a batter, and I think it hit his front shoulder, but he fell to the floor. And a fan ran on the field and tried to fight the pitcher for hitting the batter.
Yeah, I did see that video.
And all you see is the third baseman just come out of nowhere and throw the dude to the fucking ground. And the dude was just but it was this skinny cracker who fucking probably had 4 Michelob Ultra Lights or something, and he was feeling himself. And it's just
crazy.
What goes through your mind to do something like that? Especially now, are you not in tune with what's going on in the sports world? Yeah. You have to be if you're 4K. At that game, or if you care that much that your player got hit.
Yeah, this last year, I think really fuck people up mentally.
Yeah,
listen,
people always says crazy. It. Pandemic got motherfuckers going crazy.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. This is what happens when you lock people up, not doing shit for a year, and people just forget how to act. They forget how to behave normally. It's not good. It's not good for the sport. I'm fine with fans running on the field, whatever, that's fine. Do what you got to do, get your 15 minutes of fame, but don't be throwing shit at people. I know how you guys alluded to if someone ran on a player. They asked Bradley Beal last night, I don't know if you guys saw it. He had a perfect answer for it. They're like, do you feel less safe? He's like, nope, I don't want to use the hood term for it, but these hands work. And
it should be fair game.
It should. It really should. That's what it's going to come down to. We're going to get Malice at the Palace Part 2, and I'm all here for it because these fans need to stop.
I'm taking the athlete over the person.
100%. Every time. It doesn't matter which athlete it is.
Every time. I'm hitting my bet every time on that.
Yeah, I'm spamming.
Yeah. Shout out to the dude who did run on the court during the Wizards-Sixers game. He did manage to clap backboard before he got tackled.
He did.
Yeah.
He did, right? I heard that. I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
I respect it.
That's always been part of sports. That's, I agree with Danny, whatever. But once you start actually doing something to a player, if you start assaulting another player or spitting on them, I can't get over that one.
Yeah.
I can't get over that.
Never do it if you were standing
that dude was in the front row.
Right.
That was the worst one out of all of them.
And especially today, on somebody. With how today is with COVID and all the vaccines and all how everything is, you don't spit on someone regardless of whatever. But
regardless, and then this is additive.
But come on, bro.
I think going forward, every time somebody does this, they should just send them to the gulag, and Brock Lesnar's just waiting there to beat the living shit out of you.
Right.
Like that.
Hey,
give you an F5, baby.
The next Jake Paul fight, he's fighting whoever does something to, whoever throws popcorn on somebody.
He's fighting Tyron Woodley.
No, that's his death sentence.
Yeah, I hope Woodley beats his ass. But
Woodley's
hey, this is T Wood's. This is T Wood's redemption tour right here because he's getting clapped.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
he's been getting a hit like pretty good in the last one I watched. What was that, last month?
The last
maybe?
2 or 3, yeah.
My boy was wobbly for like 5 straight minutes. So this is a redemption tour. If whether it's for,
I'm a fan of his, but it's like,
Oh, yeah.
we need you to pull through here, buddy. Okay,
Yeah,
I will go spar with you. You can beat me up just so
do it for the
you
people.
can knock out
Yeah,
Jake Paul.
Do it for their culture, for real.
Jake Paul is that guy in the stands that throws the water bottle, spits on someone, throws popcorn.
Yes,
do it
he
for
is.
all of us, please. Right?
Yeah.
Right. But like we all agree that Ben Askren was whatever. I mean, Ben Askren.
He did not
like
take that shit seriously.
Yeah, but he looks like he's been making.
There's
He's
no
been working
way.
at Steak and Shake for the past year.
They do need help in West Des Moines.
Right. But there's no way he beats Woodley. No way. And what did he say today? He said he's gonna knock him out in round 2, right?
I hope not.
He's still not fighting a boxer either.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw on Twitter today that they were fighting, I went down a little rabbit hole, and I was on Jake Paul's Twitter and like all his boys, and it just angered me so much that I just had to close the app and get on with my day because they're just fucking weird.
It's interesting to me the dynamic of Jake and how he approaches things, and I guess marketing his fights, and then Logan and how he approaches it. They both have different styles. Logan's not Jake in how he essentially is approaching his fights.
No, they complement each other.
But there's no way I don't see Jake beating Tyron Woodley.
That's in August, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's
August
not really
28th.
a boxer.
I know, but if Jake does beat him, what does that do for him?
I'm probably just not going to talk about the guy anymore.
It gives him a little bit. I mean, if you want to be critical, Stephen A. Smith said it when they announced it. I think they had a little segment on SportsCenter was, if he's legit as he says he is, Jake Paul, like finally fight somebody with, rounds under their belt on a professional level. So if he does win, the credibility will go up a little bit more, but it won't be as if he still fought a boxer. We're all still going to yearn for him to fight an actual boxer because it's like, yes, you beat everyone. You beat a YouTube celebrity, a former NBA player, a grappler UFC guy. And now you're fighting, probably a solid mix, probably the best quality fight, but we're still going to want him to fight, a 25-year-old Mexican dude that's been doing this. He was 5 years old.
Right.
That's what I want.
Teofimo.
Yeah, that's why he's in a win-win situation, honestly, because he's probably just going to keep getting fights and making money.
Exactly.
And everything like that.
What happens Sunday, which, by the way, Sunday? Come on.
Yeah, what is that?
It's on a Sunday?
There's a reason for that. No,
Floyd and Logan is this Sunday.
Yeah.
There's got to be. Let me look at what basketball games are on
know.
Sunday or how many, or Saturday.
Guys,
Saturday, there's 3. No, doesn't look.
The NFL's running their shit apparently.
Lakers, Suns. Yeah, there's got to be a reason. Maybe they thought during, I'm sure there's research that goes into a June boxing fight.
Maybe they thought they
Is there anything going on at Dolphin Stadium or Hard Rock, whatever the fuck it's called?
The day before, huh? Maybe a soccer match. I don't know. Probably
Does it
not.
have to do?
It would have to set up the field, so there's no way. There's no way they.
No, but there's a CONCACAF and all that. I think.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have it to the point where you have a soccer match, let's say Friday or Saturday, then you have to build this, build up the stadium and all that. That'd be kind
unless they're just making it a whole weekend thing.
Does it have to do anything with Logan living in Costa Rica now? He has to catch a flight back, and they only leave. There's none that go out on Saturdays.
Does he really live in Costa Rica now?
That's what I read.
Puerto Rico. I think he's training in Puerto Rico.
Oh, Puerto Rico. Yeah, I thought he moved. I thought he's trained there, but I thought he literally moved there.
I don't know about Costa Rica, but I did see an interview where he said,
"No, you're right.
Puerto
Rico. I meant Puerto Rico, not Costa Rica.
I'd live in either place.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah. Either way, I'm going in July and end of July.
Yeah.
So.
Have you ever been there before?
Yeah, a couple times.
Oh, okay.
Like very young, before the age of like 20.
I went.
I'm sure it looked like some Puerto Rican stuff right there.
What round? Dude. How long does that fight last? Does it go 8?
I mean,
it lasts however long Floyd wants it to last.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. How long does it last?
I can't tell you. I'll tell you like day of how he's feeling. I don't know. He literally
You
said,
got
"However I feel."
Floyd's number.
Yeah, he got him
hit
on
us up
speed
day
dial.
of. Like,
Yeah, I got some people with
hey,
the
let me
money
get
team.
Floyd. How you feeling, buddy?
I
know
think
some people.
Floyd,
I know some people that work security at Hard Rock. So I'm like, hey, what do you look like when you walked in?
I
today?
think Floyd is smart enough to not want to. If I'm Floyd, I have so much confidence, let's say, right, going into the fight, which is obvious. But I think as a showman, as a business guy, as maybe a couple more eyeballs, just if you knock him out 1 minute into the first round and someone's late to ordering the pay-per-view, they're not going to see the fight. So
Yeah.
I know he thinks like that.
Oh yeah, he's a businessman.
He's gonna play defense the
Is it a
whole
12-round
first.
fight?
I
Yeah,
don't know. That's a
I
great
think
question.
so.
I think he plays defense the whole first, not does anything. So he could always go, I didn't try anything for first round. Then second round, maybe little boop, boop, stick and move. And then I think he ramps it up in the third. And then the third, I think the third is minimum. I think that's
The 8-round
that's
fight?
what it goes no matter what.
Oh, it
It's
goes
total
5.
8 rounds.
It's exhibition.
5.
Yeah, it goes 5 or 6. I think.
And Floyd is smart there too because it's exhibition. So if he does lose, it doesn't touch his undefeated record.
He's not losing. He's not losing.
So I think he'll
He
ramp
might
it
not know how to
up in the
read, but
third.
he's not that stupid.
I'm gonna say round. I'm writing these down, by the way. Round 4.
You
I
think
got
50 Cent is gonna be there to troll?
Mayweather.
Oh my God. Okay, what if he loses? 50 Cent is gonna troll the shit out of him.
Yeah,
He's
he
not
will.
Yeah,
He can lose.
I don't think he loses.
Bro,
But
there was
his
fights-
ego lets him lose.
There was fights going into Floyd's later career, like the last 5, that I was like, damn, you're really taking this fight. Like you're going against a guy that has nothing to lose and you have everything to lose. And those were guys with like 30, 40 professional fights under their belt. So there's no I don't care about the age. At the end of the day, Mayweather, he's not doing this rolling out of bed, eating McDonald's. He might eat McDonald's and then go train, but he's getting ready for a fight. He's going to show off a little bit at least. So I got round 4. Who else got, and what do you have? Because I'm writing this shit down.
I got 5.
I'm going to tell Elliot to put it on the IG. Round 5, gravy.
I'm going 7. Round 7.
I'm going
Round
6.
7. Round 6.
And
Ooh, I like that. We all picked different ones. Nice.
If
Wait,
the
so
only
you're
way
doing the distance, Ray?
the only way
What?
Logan has a chance is he has to knock him out in round 1. That's the only way.
We all got May. No, I said round 4. Because I said round 3, he'll ramp it up, do some work, but I think he'll wait till halfway through to like, all right, it's time.
Yeah, I will say also that shout out to Logan because that dude, did you see him? He is in shape.
That's what I will give him. That man transformed his body and you could tell he ain't playing. So when he does, hopefully he does fight a legit boxer. I think he could, if he's got the right training and hopefully get some experience, I think he could be legit because body wise and kind of how he approaches everything, it looks like he's doing nothing but training, bro.
Yeah.
Like no matter what I see him do when I don't follow any of his platforms, but I mean, you don't have to nowadays. It's on every fucking.
That's all I
I don't
talk
see any
about.
of that shit.
So
do we ever get a Logan Paul Jake Paul fight?
There you go. That is the one they do. So I think I never thought about this until you just said. I think they do that when both of the buzz have kind of simmered a little bit. Maybe one loss twice, and they're like, all right, we can't fight anybody legit because we already lost to a bum. Let's say, let's fight each other. I think that's when they go to that. Am I wrong? Right?
Or let me put this out there and chill out, guys. Let me get through it.
Treat me like I'm some drunk uncle.
Jake beats Woodley. Logan knocks Floyd out. Jake's first boxing match is against his brother Christmas weekend.
Woo! Sign me up! That honestly, if you are gonna go, if by crazy chances they both win, that would probably break records. That would probably, dude, that's gonna break records of pay-per-views because they're gonna go, wait, what the fuck just happened? I have to watch this. Dude, man, that's the best take you'll ever probably have on this podcast. Only because it sounds so crazy, but in 2021, anything's possible.
Really?
Yeah.
For real.
Thank God we recorded it because I'm gonna play that back for my daughter when she's.
I love that too. I love that everything we say is recorded, so we always have receipts.
Yeah. Damn. Well,
All right, then we'll let's. I hate giving those people clout, but I guess as long as we're watching and it's entertainment, you got to give them just due because they probably won't
Sunday?
be relevant 5 years
Dang.
from now. Yeah, on a Sunday, that's kind of weird.
crushing.
Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of episode 18 is the NBA playoffs.
Speaking of meat and potatoes, does anybody
Playoffs.
actually like pot roast?
Pot roast
Are
ain't
you
bad.
fucking serious? Don't tell me
Yeah,
that you don't like pot roast.
It's not.
Come on.
Pot
dog.
roast is literally just like stew, meat, and potatoes, right? Am I
Yeah.
missing something? I don't. It's not
Basically.
It's not a thing that my parents cooked when I was growing up, and something I've eaten
Yeah.
in my adult life. But
This-
Mine either.
this-
this man walked away from the podcast.
Yeah, he did. Watch
Is
is
that
probably
all-
cooking pot. Mandy's
is that
probably
all we
cooking
had
pot
to
roast
say?
right now.
Is that
Yeah,
all we had to say? Just say something about
guy doesn't like pot
pot roast.
Ben, he doesn't like pot roast.
I never said I didn't like pot roast.
he was
I'm
bringing up
saying-
a hot topic.
Yeah. Is it actually good or not? I'm not sure.
It's good.
I'm not sure.
It's amazing.
No one ever at any job, when you go to a job and they do like get to know you sessions, they do those dumbass questions. Someone's like, name your favorite food. No one has ever said pot roast.
That
Ever.
is my favorite
in
food.
the history.
Is
You've
it
never said
really?
it.
Yeah. You never had pot roast with some nice noodles, and then you got like the beef. All right.
Oh,
nice,
I've had that
Nice.
as yeah.
nice
see, my
moist
dad,
beef, and then you got some
yeah, my dad,
potatoes.
my dad cooks
Carrots.
something like that, but it's
Different.
called something different.
When you
And then
threw-
you know
when
you know what the
threw
best
noodles
part of
in-
it is?
You threw noodles in. That's not pot roast.
You know what the best part of it is?
What?
But it is
Fucking
fire.
gravy. Fucking gravy.
Gravy.
It's magnificent.
Y'all gotta have some ajiaco, bro.
Yeah. What's that?
Some ajiaco.
What is
That boy said that.
He said,
Hey, you know what that just reminded me of? That
What?
video. There's some Air Force Ones.
Oh,
Nah,
God.
but ajiaco is like it's kind of like a stew, but it's got corn, carrots. It's got
Potatoes.
some meat in it. It's
Okay.
kind of sort of like pot roast, but it's some good shit. Some
Damn.
good shit when you come to South Florida. I got
that's
you.
one thing. I think
I like
that's
it.
one thing every culture could relate with is that like that they call it poor people food. Like soup is what
Yeah.
poor people food because it's just like put some water, add some whatever you got
Dude,
left of
dude.
stuff, and every
That was my
culture
dad.
Mix it all
has
up.
some
I'll eat
type of
ramen
stew.
right now.
Exactly. Oh
That
my
was my
god, we had
dad
ramen
growing
last
up.
night. Yep.
Yeah, I've been.
That was
I've
my
been
dad
eating
growing
ramen
up.
the past
We'd
few weeks.
we go to his house and we'd be like, Dad, what are we having for dinner? And he would just go to the cupboard and whatever we have, he'd like put it all in a pan and just mix it all up and then he'd throw cheese over it. And we'd be like, what is this? He's like, it's a mess. Eat it.
It's a mess.
It was good every time. And he's like, if you just put some cheese over it, it masks all the flavor of everything else. So it'll be good.
Yeah, is that like garbage pizza? Like
I don't
people
know.
in Iowa ask for garbage pizza.
What's
That's a
garbage
real
pizza?
term.
I
That's a
don't
real
fucking
Yeah,
term.
eat
that's a
that
real thing.
shit.
Oh, I don't know.
well-
Oh, like everything on it type.
All I got at my dad's house was peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, so you're lucky.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, I'm
goodness.
lucky. I just told you my dad found stuff in the cupboard that he had
Threw
and
cheese
just
on
threw it in a pan and put cheese on it. That's it.
That usually works when you're like 16
Yeah.
and you're like staying
know.
home alone for the first time while your
You don't
parents go out
care.
to dinner
You're
for
not
the
tasting
anniversary.
anything. The only thing you're thinking about is boobs and when your boner will go down.
Well, first,
You don't,
well,
from the
when-
ages
when-
of 13 to 19, you literally don't taste food. When you come out of
Well, what-
19 years old, that's when you start to taste food. You know?
my example was they go out for their anniversary. You do some weird stuff by yourself, and then you
Yeah.
make like a weird, like I made fried bologna one time. One of
Oh,
my
yeah.
first meals that I cooked on the stove. Why? Because it was like, oh, I got bologna, I got cheese, and I got some bread. I want to
Yep.
spice it up. I want to prove like I'm an adult. Throw that bitch on the fryer. It was
Fried
awesome.
bologna.
Haven't had it since though, but
Yeah.
that was a
I would
memorable
hope not.
moment in
I
my
just
life.
envisioned
My
your
mom would
parents.
leave.
We got
my
on fake
brother and I
bologna
would-
nowadays.
My brother and I would put stuff in the microwave to see what happens when you turn it on. One time we put a cream saver. Remember cream saver life? Yeah. Those
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
We
yeah.
put one in there and it blew the microwave up. It blew it up.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, that's crazy.
The thing
You know what?
you
Also,
do-
speaking of bologna, my dad used to get Spam a lot, which I think is pretty good, by the way.
Never had
And
spam
then-
I
in my
ate that
life.
my whole childhood. I ate that
Yep.
my whole childhood.
And then, you ever see that lunch meat, like that ham lunch meat with the little cheeses in it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm talking
Lunchables.
about? Yeah.
Of course.
No. It's like squares. Like it's just a piece of meat.
I'm privileged.
Yeah. I don't know how we got on this topic, but we can move on.
I'll start talking about NBA playoffs.
I'm trying to think of the most wild thing I used to eat.
I hope Ray's rundown goes to NBA playoff, and then right after that says, "Is pot roast good?"
Yeah, I was just thinking how I'm gonna do that time, or me and Elliot are gonna work on that timestamp. I'm gonna have to completely cut out that NBA was mentioned, but we talked about meat and potatoes, and now we're in the meat and potatoes of the episode. So recapping, we're game 4 or 5 into each series. Knicks are down 3-1. Knicks talked a lot of shit. All the crowd was involved, and now they went to Atlanta.
Talked a lot of shit.
I mean, the fans was. Sorry, when I say
y'all can have this
players.
topic.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna run through that, and then
Danny's
you guys
gonna sit this one out like the Heat.
I'm
on the couch.
Damn. Hawks and Nick down 3-1. The Wizards might battle back and make it a game, maybe 6 with Embiid injured, and they got some life. Westbrook's gonna come out like a maniac. Jazz will probably handle that Grizzly series. Clippers, Mavericks. That's probably the series of the playoffs. Now, we didn't think so. Well, we probably thought so. It would be competitive, but that's 2-2. Nets are going to handle business tonight as it's going on as we record. Nuggets, Blazers. That's another toss-up. That's 2-2. Lakers, Suns.
3-1. I thought it was 3-1.
No, 2-2. Nuggets, Blazers, they play at 9.
Oh,
and then Suns, Lakers, man, play tonight at 10 p.m. So by the time this episode drops,
is AD playing tonight?
He is not playing tonight.
So, no.
Oh, he's made out of glass too.
Tonight. And and then obviously the Bucks took care of the Heat, which I was mad about because I'm biased about that. I wanted the Heat to at least challenge that series and make them go 6. So not more injuries, but they get more games under their belt. But now the Bucks are just sitting back waiting for the Nets. So what since we've last recorded, what have you guys seen in these NBA playoffs?
My pick for the Nuggets making it to the finals, fucking awful. If I could take that back, I would. But
I don't think so.
AD, Joel Embiid, and my left ankle are all made of glass. It's incredible. Yeah. This guy gets hurt every freaking year. I don't know what it is. I feel bad for him. I do. And I don't know how severe Embiid's injury was, but I feel bad for AD.
I feel bad. I mean, he's great. I think it'll be a story of his career. I think he'll deal with this constantly throughout his career. I just don't think his body.
It's only going to get worse. Yeah. It's only going to get worse.
He's not built like KD.
It's going to be. He's always going to be what could have been if he didn't deal with the injuries. Like people in the past. Obviously, we think it's people like Derrick Rose and not the same position. Penny Hardaway. What could they have been if they didn't deal with so many injuries? I think that'll be AD.
T-Mac.
And I don't know what the man's diet's like. I don't know what his training routine's like. I don't know what any of that is like. I know, for example, being a big Derrick Rose fan and then following his career a lot, I know when he like changed his diet, stopped eating all of his candy that he used to eat, really focused on, doing a lot of stretching and stuff, that the injuries didn't, I guess, happen as much. Not saying that has anything to do with it, but I don't know. I also think being that big, how do you not get injured every day? But
yeah, it's. I'm like, I get it. Injuries can happen, but for me, I'm like struggling with understanding how it keeps happening to him every season, and it's like he's not this. Like he's pretty much built. Like he's got some meat on the bones. You know what I mean? He doesn't have that like thin body frame like KD. Like I get he's a power forward. He takes a lot of hits. He plays the center position too. But damn, it's like,
yeah,
I can't catch a break.
What I will say about that is guys that were built like that in the history of the NBA, and there's so many variables that go into this as far as injuries. Like you can't just put it on schedule. You put on a pace of plays different. The center is not the center that of the Shaqs and the Mutombos anymore. They're constantly moving. It's not like you're a center that goes to the baseline or the paint and puts their hand up. They're doing Embiid is setting a pick and roll, dropping low in the paint. Yeah, he's stretching out. He's moving. So yeah, and Embiid and AD are so Joker, he plays a different way. He plays a lot slower. He plays on top of the key, more composed on top of the key. So he's not going to get injured as much. He does need to lose a little more weight each year that he gets older, I think, in my opinion, because it'll only help him. But he plays at such a slow pace where I don't see him getting hurt like an AD and Embiid. But these guys are doing something that has never been seen before in the NBA is they're stretching out in the post, they're in the paint, bodying, getting rebounds, getting blocks. They're going to the floor so many times. And eventually, the gift and the curse of being a stretch 5 or a stretch 4 is there's going to be injuries.
Yeah, they're having to play, like a guard at times with a 7-foot frame on their body. Yeah, I don't know. I will say, I'll just give my takes on the playoffs real quick. I think it's clear the Nets. I see their path all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't see how anybody
Bucks
takes
are
them
going to be
out.
tough. I think Bucks are going to be tough.
When you have your top 3 scorers that can score 100 points in a game, it's going to be hard to beat that. Beat that
108
team,
to be Pacific.
That's just crazy. I think the Jazz look good. I know that everybody was iffy on them, but I think the Jazz still look good. We'll kind of see what happens. I don't think the Nuggets are out. I still think they're in it. I think the Clippers come back to win that whole series. I just don't think the Mavs have enough, I'll call it star power, to finish that off. They got those first 2 games, but I don't think they'll finish it off. The Knicks, I don't know what's going on. RJ and Julius, if they play better.
RJ played better last game.
Yeah, Trae Young, cut that hair, please.
I have a problem with. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll let you finish and then I'll rant.
The Bucks, they played well in that series, but no offense, Danny, they played the Heat, and by watching some of those games, looking at that Heat team, they played a Heat team that nobody recognized.
Bubble boys.
Yeah. And
so it'll be interesting to see them play the next round. Are they going to do typical choke Bucks fashion? I don't know. That team still, it's iffy to me. I don't see the Lakers scare me without AD. I don't know. The West is up in the air for me now.
Yeah.
It's up in the air for me now.
Danny, why do you think that is?
What do I think?
As the resident Heat fan?
Why the Heat played like garbage? The bubble did, I think, impact. It had something to do with it. And then, the Bucks got a lot better. They played great defense. Bam played like me at LA Fitness. And Jimmy shooting like 3 of 18.
Like Berto at LA Fitness.
Yeah, what's it called? Bryn Forbes averaged more points than some of our starters. It just didn't look good, and it's going to be an interesting offseason. Tyler Hero worried about other things.
As he should.
Taking Instagram stories of
he got a baby
cats.
coming, I think.
Hey, he's got a ring. Wait, what?
Yeah, Katya. He definitely shut up the club because she's definitely pregnant. I scouted her.
I don't blame her.
I scouted her.
I don't follow her on any platform, even our podcast. But when a girl makes a living showing off her full body on every single post, and all of a sudden they wear baggy dresses, she pregnant.
Yep.
I.e. bundle of Britney on PJ Washington, right?
Yeah.
He hit that. Yeah. She turned off the comments to her post and never posted her stomach unless it was like a throwback, because you could tell, because you could just scroll down. And then what happened? Pregnant. What did Katya do? Turn off all the comments. It's like at that point, you're not even keeping it a secret no more.
Right.
It's like, oh, I want to be private. I don't want people commenting that I'm pregnant. So then how about you just not post
just
for
say
9
it.
months? Oh,
what's wrong with being? I don't get what's wrong with being pregnant. Shouldn't they be happy?
That's what I mean. I don't know. I can't speak on that because A, I'm not a woman. Last time I checked, and B, I can't even fathom what goes through their brain as far as business, being an influencer, and having a life.
Wait, she turned off her comments too?
Yeah, look at it.
Jimmy Butler asked for the max, as he should. I think that he.
Oh yeah, what 4 years? What 4 years?
181. 181.
That's a lot of money. being older than the age of 31, 32, which he is, that's a lot of years and a lot of money, bro.
They got to do it. I mean, unless you're going to do a sign and trade, but you already did that to get him. So
I don't believe you do that though, because you're looking at you're saying you're going to have to either trade him when he's 36, 37, but he's not going to be a tradable contract. You're going to waive him. So you're looking at that as a 3-year deal, and he's going to be 35 being Jimmy Buckets. Is he going to be Jimmy Buckets at 35, 36?
He wasn't Jimmy Buckets last week, so I don't know what he got going on.
That's
why
I
gotta learn to chill out and take some breaks. You can't be saying you practicing at 3 a.m. and you have 12 points in the NBA.
And he's not a shooter either, because being a shooter helps your longevity in the game, and he's not a shooter, so he's got to get into the nitty gritty. Can you trust a 35-year-old doing that? I don't think so, bro.
All I gotta say is,
what the fuck's up with the 35-year-olds?
D-Wade didn't go out like that at age 36.
Yeah.
You don't get swept if you want to be considered, an all-star player or ask for that kind of money. Like,
and they had a full team. Nobody was hurt on that
you think
team.
He gets
nobody had injuries.
I mean, I think that he give it to him. I think
the Heat will probably give it to him. Other than that, bring him back to the Bulls.
All right. Well,
Levine.
What?
You would take him back?
We got a lottery pick. I'm not paying him max. I wouldn't pay him a max contract.
Yeah, but where does he fit on that team? He's going to take minutes away from Patrick Williams?
That's okay right now for 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
That's okay.
No, I want to know how you feel. That was a serious question.
Yeah, it wasn't a serious thing. I was doing it for the pod. I really
hey man, I take you seriously.
Yeah. Well, I tell my wife that's the mistake.
Oh
Hence the baby.
Boom!
All right.
I do want to give out my a shout out to my boy KD, which there's been several tweets.
Kevin
I think
Durant.
That's your boy now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did you hit him up? You know how he's feeling every day?
Damn.
I was gonna call him Kevin, but I didn't want to make it awkward.
Hey, yo, Kev.
A tweet went out today, or a stat's been coming out where it's like he missed 552 days between the last injury he had in Achilles, and he's 32 years old and averaging 35, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks. No, I know, but no, because at the end of the day, it speaks on almost. We go into a guy coming back from injury, and what is the first thing we say? He'll never be the same, right? That's kind of what the narrative is. What I say, not everybody. They paint that picture. He won't be the same. There's no way. Or he's at that age, right? And then when they do it, what's the reaction? What you just did. We know he's good. But it shouldn't be. It should be, you got to appreciate it while it's happening. Not saying you're wrong, Ben, in not thinking, because after he does it, you go, oh, that's just KD being KD. But if you break it down, that's 2 years ago. He's doing better numbers. All right, I know it's a small sample size. He'll probably have another 25, 28 this game. But the guy came back after the age of 32, an Achilles injury, and is looking not even efficiently. He's shooting 58% from field goal, 64 from 3, and 92. I just wanted to throw flowers at him this time, because I don't know how long it's going to be till he could average those numbers. Not saying he could do it next year, because he's only getting older, and the game's, getting only younger at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I like it. Yeah. I agree.
Just wanted to shout out my boy right here.
Someone just called AD Anthony Day 2 Davis.
Oh shit!
Day 2 Davis.
All right, I have one wish, and that wish
the Knicks in the series.
No, I mean, look, it's going to be a tough task now. Okay, we put ourselves in this hole. Been a big Tibbs supporter this year. Guys getting out coached, plain and simple. I need to know. I really do need to know why, and I don't know why. I don't know if or why people haven't asked him this question yet. Why aren't we putting Trae Young in more fucking ball screens? I don't understand it. He's guarding Reggie Bullock.
Yeah, that does.
Or take Reggie Bullock out early and put Alec Burks in, because Alec Burks has been hooping. But it blows my mind that we're not trying to exploit Trae Young on defense more. And the Hawks have other good defenders. Clint Capella's doing a good job of protecting the rim. But you would think, with the way we've been playing now, that we would adjust something.
Honestly, Gravy, you want to know my real opinion? And go ahead, Ben.
Nope, you go.
We don't have a superstar. That's mine.
I was gonna say, well, that was a part of it, but you don't have multiple players that are able to isolate, because that only works. Maybe you put Bullock in a ISO situation or back down on Trey, because the great teams will do that, Tim. When they have to go up against Embiid, that will happen. But you guys don't have, outside of Randall, a guy that could go do that to him. And that's the difference of being a good team and a great team. Yeah. That's all I was going to say.
And this is going to sound completely biased, but if you do like watch a game or have watched multiple Knicks games, RJ Barrett is elite in transition. Once we get in that half court offense, he does struggle a little bit. He's become really good at catching and shooting in the corners for threes, but it's not going to. We're relying solely on Derrick Rose in the half court offense. Taj Gibson has played well, but look, I got people texting me, calling me. I ain't even talking shit. That's fine. Get your shit off. I would get my shit off if roles were reversed. Cool.
You got a platform to do it. They don't.
But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I'm kidding.
But it's also like, I mean, I hate Heat fans in general. Not like the Heat fans that I know, but like other Heat fans. Because like, I get it. We have rivals and stuff, but like, man, them boys was at home on the couch watching the Knicks, praying we were losing that game this weekend.
That's true.
But it's like, why? Like, I get it. We're like a crazy fan base, and we were fucking throwing a parade in Times Square when we won, last week. But I think in realistic terms, we're a team that overachieved. We're ahead of schedule.
Isn't it the story of Tibbs' career? Great in the regular season, choked in the playoffs.
Yes, if we're gonna put it on Tibbs, but I'm also.
I'm not gonna put it. I'm just saying, as a Bulls fan, right? As a lifelong Bulls fan, if you follow his career,
I mean, I don't know if you can say he necessarily choked against that.
His teams did.
It's coming down to the players. It's the players for me.
They played better teams. Those Chicago teams were playing. Were they playing the Miami Heat? They were playing Bron. So, like, I mean, at the end of the day, we could always blame why our Eastern Conference team didn't play well.
For me, it's 100% the players. We're not making any shots.
No,
I mean, we're playing respectable defense. Trae Young's going to get his 30 no matter what. That's fine. But we can't make any shots. And that comes down to, like, what I was saying is, we're ahead of schedule of where we want to be. Granted, hey, we got the 4th seed. That's cool. Let's continue to build. But we're missing another superstar alongside Julius, because, man, Julius Julius has progressed, but playoffs are a different animal. And, he's given it his all, but he's not a guy who's going to create his own jump shot, every single time down the court. He needs to drive. They're collapsing on him, and he's kicking it out. He's doing the right thing. He's playing basketball. Guys aren't making shots. So I think if we get another superstar in, pick up a disgruntled superstar however we can this offseason or next. And we need some shooters, because, it's just we're not putting the ball in the basket, and that's going to win you the game.
I was just going to say.
I just said Kawhi me.
Kawhi. I was just gonna say.
I would love Kawhi.
Yeah, no, that would be wild. But that's
everybody would.
But for what we're trying to build for like a defensive team, the only thing about Kawhi that worries me is Tibbs is a guy that's going to start players a lot, and Kawhi likes to use his PTO a lot during the season. So that's something that I don't know if that would bring him to New York. I think for New Balance, that'd be great if he came to New York.
For sure.
But I mean, we'll see. We can win another game or two. I'd like that.
My last point on that was about the Tibbs choking is, my belief or criticism on the NBA is NBA coaches get you to the playoffs. They are responsible for the cohesion and everything that goes on the floor in the regular season. It's the players that have to take over. The coach only because at the end of the day, every superstar is playing 40 minutes. Yeah. You're playing 8 deep, 9 deep, maybe. You're not, in the regular season, you're going 10, so that more management. But all the coach has to do is make sure you do a timeout at the right times, challenge at the right times, and little things like that, and make adjustments. In the playoffs, that's why it was like Tibbs choked. In the playoffs, it's 90% players. In my belief or my criticism like I said. Anything
Yeah,
left on
I agree.
the
I just
NBA?
wanted to.
Yeah.
I want to stir up conversation there.
No, I'm
Yeah,
really interested in that Lakers Sun series though.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
It's gonna to me. It's gonna take LeBron's gonna have to return to like I don't
Real
know, the
dark 30.
Cleveland days where he takes over every aspect of the game in order to win, in my opinion.
Guess what though? He
Although I
can't
don't know though
do it
because
like
CP3
that
is still
because
hurt.
he's not that age.
So it is interesting. I wonder.
I think LeBron could do that for a game or two in a series, but he's no longer.
Yeah.
And hopefully he proves me wrong, which that'll be great to see. I only benefit from looking like an asshole when I say this, but it's father time. Obviously, Tom Brady and father time have no relationship at all because he's defying all the odds. He's putting up numbers and winning. So, but
he
LeBron
doesn't. Tom Brady doesn't get hit.
Yeah, you're right.
Tom Brady just stands there and throws the ball. That's all he does.
and he'll go down if he does decide to get hit. The old Eli Manning or Peyton Manning. You go down when you see a big dude coming at you.
Right.
But eventually LeBron's gonna lose a little bit of his luster, the speed and quickness, and I think he could do it for spurts of a minute, 5 minutes, but he can't do it for a whole game like he used to. 42 minutes in a game in 7-game series. It's and nor should he. Nor should he have to do that. That's why you put other players, hopefully, around LeBron that can.
So what Ray is saying is the Lakers are done. Ray is saying now Lakers are done.
I do have the Suns in my finals pick, which is more of a pod pick than a preference pick, because a Lakers-Nets series finals would be, whether the Nets win or lose, I would want that if you ask me that right now, because if we win, there's no question.
Suns played you guys pretty good in the regular season, though, right?
We beat the Suns.
If I remember. But it was a good game.
Yeah, we came back like 24-0. Yeah, 24 down for 24. No, you're right. They played pretty well. But hey, I think like Ben said earlier, the West is more open than the East. So there's like 4 teams. There's 4 or 5 teams in the West that could, if healthy and everything goes right, could make the Western Conference Finals and the Finals. In the East, it's only 2 or 3. We all know that.
Maybe.
It's 2.
Sure.
It's 1.
Yeah.
Or 2. I think it's 3. I mean, Embiid.
Who's the third?
I was going to say Bucks, Nets, and Sixers, but that Embiid getting hurt or tweaking a knee injury in the first round, that hurts, bro, because you're only going to play more minutes and more intense minutes. So it's not going to help.
It's not the Sixers with that, unless they have a 100% healthy Embiid. It's not the Sixers. Ben Simmons literally cannot shoot at the ball at all, which is just incredible to me. Like the man,
he looked like a little kid in kindergarten that was in trouble trying to walk up to the free throw line. 2 for 12, 2 for 15, something like that. No, he hit a few more after. He was like 5 of 16 or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's terrible. I mean, regardless of whatever position you play. I don't even think I could shoot 5 of 16 from the free throw line. So
no,
absolutely.
Oh no.
So
quick baseball run through.
Yep.
Just want to throw, since we're throwing flowers at players, I'm just going to throw my flowers at as I'm wearing a Miami Marlins jersey. I'm going to throw flowers at the best pitcher ever, Jacob DeGrom, who now currently has a 4-2, 0.71 ERA, and he's batting .450.
Well, shout out to the first place Cubs. Woo!
Fly the W.
Team is on fire.
Fly the W.
On fire.
They are on fire. Hopefully that settles down a little bit and we get Chris Bryant in New York, pal.
Nope.
Shout
out. Chris Bryant has to be in the MVP race right now.
No, he is for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Baseball take is Fernando Tatis Jr. That's it.
Dude is amazing.
That's it.
He is.
It. Yeah, he is the Shohei Ohtani of San Diego.
Oh, do you know they sold out of those Cuban Miami
jerseys?
Marlins jerseys? Sick, bro.
City Connect.
I was gonna buy a Jazz Chisholm one, but
we gotta do our top. We gotta do the top 5.
Wait, hold on. I was just gonna say shout out America, not only for Memorial Day, but Pulisic was the first American to hoist the Champions League. Chelsea, shout out Vito. I was with him. I was more on the Chelsea side than the Man City. I thought Man City was going to take it, to be honest. I went into it saying they're too young, too inexperienced, but Man City didn't score a goal. That's all you need to know at the end of the day, and that's soccer.
That's how you win games. Probably scoring goals helps. But it was a great game. I have no complaints about that game. It was awesome. Vito was a good sport. He didn't talk shit. Called me. And as soon as I answered, he said, "I love you, dog. I'm sorry." And that was it.
He was we went to the Inter Miami game that night too, and he wore his Chelsea scarf, his Inter Miami jersey.
What does the back of his Inter Miami jersey say?
Oh my God, what did it say? It said, big chubby spice.
Okay.
Yeah, which is funny. Obviously.
Yeah.
Pos Spice. Yeah, it's for people that don't know.
Chubby Spice, gotcha. Okay.
Wife. But it was a pretty good hit with he had that jersey on, he had the Chelsea scarf, and there was a lot of Chelsea fans obviously coming out. So whoever was there, that was a Chelsea fan, definitely rocked the jersey. So I think we left like 45 minutes after the match ended. Because if you're in the supporter section, you're getting lit. But then we were like walking around and seeing different fans and just interacting with them. So he was a good sport about it. He had fun. So that was,
COVID's over.
Shout out, Vito. Yeah.
Yeah, COVID's a wrap.
Y'all want to do top 5? What's the top 5, Gravy?
The top 5 is top 5 people, dead or alive, that you would want to sit courtside with or enjoy a sporting event with.
Ooh.
So.
Oh yeah.
I'm writing mine now because I wanted to feel the room at first when we on our pre-record production meeting. So now that I have you guys, kiddo, lead the ones that have their top 5. We'll run it through.
I know Ben's excited. Go ahead, Ben.
I'm not going. No, I always go first.
I'll go first.
Well, Gravy goes last because it's Gravy's top 5.
Okay,
so.
But Ben, be ready because Danny's gonna have like 3.5 people. So
I got 5.
Oh, yeah, my dog got 5 today.
Mention.
He's got 3 people and then a 2-legged cat.
That'd be Ray's cat.
It's Tuesday.
Top 5, dead or alive. I like it.
So mine are actually all alive, even though I was the one that said dead or alive. But top 5, I'm going Rihanna, going Dave Chappelle, Wiz Khalifa, Chad Ochocinco, and Salma Hayek. Honorable mention, my dad.
Hey, Fort Pops.
Damn. This guy's just trying to get some ass.
Can you blame me though?
No, I can't. Actually, I
blame me?
I rethought of my list while you were saying that, because mine is the complete opposite. Yeah. I like it. All right. Want me to go?
Yep.
All right. My top 5. I thought of mine more in like people I would want to sit there with the entire time, and talk to, so I have a conversation with, right?
Yep.
So one of them is Elon. I had to put him in there. I have so many questions I need him to answer for me directly, and so I'd love to sit there with him. I got Anthony Bourdain. That guy is like not a hero of mine, but he's like me in different form. If other worlds are true, I hope I'm him in another world right now. I have Dennis Rodman, the Dennis Rodman from 95 to 2000. Rodman.
That's so funny because I thought about him just like 5 seconds ago. Like, he'd be wild to put in.
The Dennis Rodman that hangs around Broward County.
No, I don't want Dennis Rodman today. I want Dennis Rodman from 95 to 2000 is the one I want to sit next to. Kevin Parker is another one of mine. If you don't know him.
Who's Kevin Parker?
Kevin Parker, the lead singer, Tame Impala, the band. Essentially, dude, the greatest band on earth.
Okay.
And I'll call him a band, but he actually plays every single instrument in that band that you hear. So I would just love to sit down and talk to him about music. And then my last one would be Hunter S. Thompson, who's dead. But if he was still alive, it'd be a dream to sit down and talk with him.
All right, that's your top 5.
Hey,
solid.
Ray, before you go, can I ask a question?
What's up?
Can I guess if one person is on your list?
Go ahead.
Abraham Lincoln.
He's number 1. Absolutely. That's an easy one. Yeah. Anybody who knows me, I've been collecting Abraham Lincoln things. I have books, I have whatever. By the way, if you guys like to go thrift storing, which I do, anytime you find something Abraham Lincoln, buy it, because Abraham Lincoln value historically is up. But also, if you want to sell it to me or ship it to me, I'm always open for it. Abraham Lincoln.
You got to come up here and go to the Brass Armadillo if you like thrift stores.
I swear to God,
it's like a mall. It's like a giant ass mall. It's called the Brass Armadillo. You see it from the interstate, and they got this giant brass armadillo figure on the front of the building. But when you go in there, that each aisle is named after a state. It's like, ooh. So you're in Iowa, like the aisle, well, but it doesn't. Not everything in that aisle has to do with Iowa. It's just how they name the aisles, and then there's just crazy. So
when I come to Iowa, I'm gonna have to golf. We're gonna have to record as a unit, and I'm gonna have to go thrift storing basically in Iowa and see if they got better shit than South Florida. But number one, Lincoln, in no specific order, but I guess Lincoln would be number one because.
Wait, are you starting with number one? Did you just do a gravy?
Yeah. Well, now that you cheated on my top five, so Abraham Lincoln, Jay-Z, Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Seinfeld is he's my favorite, he's probably my second favorite human of all time.
The fact that I just learned right now that you like Curb Your Enthusiasm, dude.
Ben,
that's one of my
my
all-time favorite shows. We lamping?
We
lamping.
Dog. I could, yeah.
One time I was in a team meeting with my team, and I yelled that kind of at him. I was like, "Are we lamping right now?" And they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's chilling. It's kind of like chilling, but we lamping."
The things his brain has created, not only in the 90s, but also in the current, like, last 15 years, it's just unbelievable. Like the sayings, a little quirkiness. Like when he does things in episodes, I go, I may do that now, but I'm definitely doing that when I'm 60, 70 years old. I'm going to be so like, anal about
it's one of the
certain
greatest
things
shows of all time. You ever seen the episode where he gets high with his dad, and then they're looking in the bathroom?
Yes.
They're looking in the bathroom mirror. Oh my god, I can't even watch it. I died laughing.
Yeah. His dad is the funniest looking thing ever. It's so good, right? Bifocals on. Number 4, Tupac. Tupac. He'll stir up something crazy at the game. Obviously, sit in front row. He'll be cool. He'll be wearing something, retro. And then Marshawn Lynch, because I was thinking of who would I want to sit next to in this mix of great human beings that would make me laugh and like, always have something random to say or some interaction. Is Marshawn Lynch is not a comedian, but he might as well be one because that dude, he does everything funny.
Yeah.
I like it.
Love it.
That's my top 5.
All right. Number 5, I'm going to start with Spike Lee. Really, my guy, just he listen, he went to Atlanta one deep.
Every game.
He went to Atlanta by himself, okay? He had to take some hits alone. So I respect it. And, hey, he's a Yankees fan. We could check out some Subway Series games together. But I'd love to be right there. I'd love to talk to him and just hear, his interactions with the players and fans during the game as well. 4, I have Tony Soprano, a.k.a. James Gandolfini.
Yeah.
And I'd watch a game with him either at Bada Bing or the arena.
Bada Bing.
Bada Bing.
Number 3, I did have Rihanna, just because she's cool and she's lit during games and she likes to talk shit. But I did take her out, and I put Action Bronson.
Ooh, yeah.
He's in my top 10.
Yeah, he almost was he's in my top 10 for sure. He was almost in mine.
Yep. Yeah. And then 2, I have Hove. I don't know if you guys checked out. I told Ben if you guys checked out the last the shop episode.
Yeah, it's good.
But it's just anytime I get to listen to Hove talk about some real shit, I'm locked in and focused because I love that guy.
Yeah, I gotta check that episode out for sure.
Can anyone guess who my number 1 person is?
Jacob DeGrom.
Gil Hodges.
No. That's a great pick. Great. Yeah, Gil Hodges is a great pick too. Fuck. I thought that one of those two for sure.
My honorable mention was my grandma.
Ooh,
because she will talk shit.
All right. Right, you be with your ladies, and then you'll be like talking shit with it just right next to you. That's a good point. I like that. I like that pick.
1, I had Pat McAfee.
Oh, dude, he's in my top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
Dude, he is. I think he's I think he's the future of like sports talk.
Dude,
Dude, he's killing it on SmackDown.
I freaking love that guy. I might get a PMI tattoo. I don't even know.
He's
You
awesome.
ain't getting a tattoo. Come
He
with me to
brings
get
so
a tattoo.
I would
much
get a
then-
tattoo if you brought me with you to the tattoo shop.
My tattoo artist just gave away 4 tattoos, by the way.
That's
while
great.
I was on this thing. Next time I go, because I'm about to go, I'm trying to go next week if I can.
Yeah, Gerby, you should get some maybe like if not on the you seem like somebody that would put like a piece on right away.
Yeah, I need 2 half sleeves going, but I'll get something little just to put somewhere for my first tattoo.
Yeah, well, just to see what it's like, you know.
Exactly, fill it out a little bit.
I would get something little, like Rod. Rod got a cyclone tattoo on his ankle, and then he's like, after he went through that, he can't do it.
Isn't like the ankle a terrible spot to get like your first tattoo?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
I got a bunch of leg tattoos.
Anything thin skin and bone is not a good mix.
I want something like around my wrist, like a watch, like to put my watch over. Yeah. Or like little things. You know what I mean? Like make 2 little.
Yeah, do it. Well, I'll bring you with.
Cool.
Thanks. I like Ben's flow of tattoos. That's similar to what I have. I only have 3, but like the little tattoos here and there, and you know, as long as you make it meaningful, you won't regret it. I hate people that are like, oh, it's on you permanently. Like, who fucking cares? We're alive till 68 years old, and we're all in simulation where none of it matters anyway. Right. So just fucking tat up your face.
That's why I put it on me, because I want it there forever. And if I don't, I can just take it off.
Yeah, that's right. It's like it's permanent. No, it really fucking isn't.
It makes me unique and an individual. Nobody likes staring at a blank canvas every day.
Nope, especially a blank white canvas. Anyway,
right? I know. Trust me, I don't know. I get out of the shower and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I see my neckline. I'm like, God damn it.
Oh, shit. Oh man.
Terrible.
Bet the fort. Let's drop it like it's hot, baby.
The fort's back
this week. Last week, last week. You know, he needed a mental health week. How about that?
Exactly. Okay. Me and my bookie on good terms again.
He's all paid up. Real quick, give us your picks.
I'm taking Floyd over Logan Paul. Obvious choice. I got Clippers over Mavs tomorrow. Clippers regain the series. Luka's hurt, not playing how he should be. So I think Clippers don't lose again. Taking the Knicks over the Hawks tomorrow. I think they get that. They get one more in New York, playing back in front of the fans. Only vaccinated fans too. Garden's going to be rocking.
No, that's for if we had made it to the second round.
Oh, second round. All right.
Yeah. So
still, y'all
just nobody's showing up for that round because we won't be there.
And then switching it up a little bit, WNBA. Special team of the pod, Liberty over the Aces. I have no clue where the Aces are, but New York Liberty over the Aces tomorrow.
The Aces are pretty decent. They got
the same record.
Players.
5-2.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have good
name. Aja Wilson. Ajaya. I don't know how to say her name.
And they have that girl from that played for Stanford.
That's her.
Yeah, is it? No.
No. Mine is the girl from South Carolina.
Girl, I'm thinking about it. Is
number 22.
Damn, I have her face. She's I'll think about it and tell you guys. Anyway, so bet the fort. You have 4 picks. Liberty. I like the little NBA, WNBA love.
Still looking
my
for a
player
sponsor.
on 2K is rocking the Liberty jersey. Just want to let you guys know that.
Yeah, I gotta get a Liberty. Yeah, I gotta cop some WNBA gear. But bet the fort. Oh yeah, we gotta post the results from 2 weeks ago, not last week. I'm gonna put it as last week on the IG story. I gotta tell him he was slacking for a little. It was Memorial Day weekend. He was on a bender as well.
Okay.
So whatever, investigating crimes as well. So he's got a lot on his plate. Let's get into shout outs. So my shout outs for this week is we began a lot of new listeners, which this is why we do it. You know, I said in a group chat to all of you guys when I first started this podcast, or what I want to do it for myself, be creative, have a voice, or kind of, you know, share it with people like friends or family. And then the other reason I wanted to do was to gain, you know, people I could interact with and talk sports or talk real life with. So we're getting more, we're seeing on Twitter, we're interacting and engaging with some on IG. So Ashley Mann, who I listen to on the WW podcast, she is one of the hosts. She does a great job. She listened to our her first episode of us last week, which we appreciate. And you know, I love her takes on wrestling. And then Feinberg, was a little annoyed at
Feinberg,
Elliot
week after week,
because,
this guy.
Yeah, Elliot didn't let me know that a topic that he recommended, and Gravy and Ben are gonna love this one. They're gonna love this one. Hold on, let me find it. Where is it?
He messaged me because you didn't ask it, and so he asked me.
Yeah, so let me do it, and then you can talk about it real quick. He goes, "My question didn't make it this week. It's a big Iowa Midwest thing at the fairs, but he said loving the street talk and the crypto talk. But his question earlier was, where the hell is it?
For those who don't know, while Ray's looking, Feinberg did come to Iowa like 3 times, and he has been to the world-known Iowa State Fair.
Oh, that's why I can't find it, because it was one of the questions. He asked, something
like
about that.
He asked, how do you feel about fried butter on a stick?
Yeah. That's exactly.
I told him, he messaged me and he was like, Elliot didn't ask my topic. And he goes, how do you feel about fried butter on a stick? And I was like, I think it's dumb. Dude, I'm like a health conscious guy, so I think it's stupid. It could only exist in America, that's for sure. You go to any other country, it doesn't exist. So I wouldn't try it.
Unless you're trying to have a heart attack or something. Heart congestive failure.
Who's eating that? And I will say too, the Iowa State Fair, like if you're from Iowa or you grew up here,
overrated.
It's not as big as people think. It's huge for people who don't live here.
Yeah.
That come here and go to it. But if you live here, like before, the first time I think I ever went to it, I was like 26. I had never gone to it ever, and I think I've been to it maybe twice.
Ray doesn't know, but Danny might. It's like the Owtown Fair that was in Broward. Or what's that fair that's in Miami?
All I really know is like the South Florida Fair, but that's like
it's fucking stinks.
Yeah,
I did win an NFL jersey there, throwing the football.
Yeah, you can go get a turkey leg. That's pretty fire.
Yeah,
maybe some deep fried Oreos. I'd do that, but everything else, it's pretty weak.
For sure.
And the only other thing I had, and you guys can get into your shout out to random topics, is we had good interactions on the 4th Mt Rushmore of the last decade. Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. I kind of ripped it off Twitter when LeBron replied, but Travis Scott, Mac Miller,
Future.
Rick Ross, Future. That was kind of the vibe, which
I do take my Future recommendation back. I am putting Rick Ross up there.
Yeah, I would put Future, and the Future would be my 4th on that Mount Rushmore of last 10, 12 years.
Think when did the first Port of Miami?
What would you guys be, Ben and Fort Wall Gravy thinks?
Yeah, I said mine was Travis Scott. I'm a big Travis Scott.
Travis Scott, yep. Yeah, he tore it up in the last 10 years. What about you, Fort?
I'd probably say Future or Wiz.
Yeah.
Khalifa.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to think like decade. I'm like, yeah.
I'm going to say, I'm not going to put Rick Ross in that because he had some albums.
I was going to say
my favorite albums for Rick Ross are before 2010.
Yeah, because the question was like 2010 and beyond. And so that's why I tried to think of it. Like Rick Ross, I would consider a legend before 2010 even started.
Well, like when they dominated, and it was a vague question, the reason why we put it out there, because I wanted it to be vague just so to see how people answered. I didn't want to be too specific, like musically impact. So it just was like, who would, like when you look at those 3 faces, Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake, what 4th face would be there that would make sense in that? And that's up to your own interpretation. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the question.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I'll go back to my Future then, because
that
man had an 8-peat.
Dog, he was so. It's hard to be relevant for 5 consistent years. Obviously, the other 3 guys have been relevant for a decade, literally. But man, if you have a good hip hop or music career for 5 years, you can make a lot of money there, and you can make an impact in music in 5 years too. You don't need 10, 20 years like some people have. Yeah. Any other shout outs on your guys' end to kind of wrap up episode 18?
I only got one shout out. Happy birthday, Kiki. She claims she's a listener. I don't know how true it is or not. I sent her.
So don't tell her that you shut her out, and let's see if she knows.
It's all good. For real, yeah.
And also, let's get some more women listeners and watchers. So if you are a woman that listens to this podcast, please tell your friends to
My fiance doesn't even listen to this shit. We're
follow,
not getting any women
follow,
Emily
give us
listens
some
every week.
feedback. We want to have a more diverse crowd. So
The
DM
world
us or
needs more
comment.
Emilys.
Hey, I say that to her every day. But I feel blessed. I'm married to her. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tears.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's
cuties.
for real. I mean it.
We get it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, boys?
Shout out to me. That's all I got.
Shout out
Yeah.
to
I'll shout out me too.
Shout out me.
All right, so
Shout out my barber.
I mean NBA playoffs. I'm gonna go watch this Nets game. Hopefully, we clinch this round one, and
You gonna watch the Yankees lose again tonight?
I'm watching them. They're 3-3, whatever. They're gonna lose.
Hopefully,
this game
Marcus
anyways.
Smart doesn't step on the Nets logo at half court.
Oh, the letter B got
It's all right.
offended.
That logo is only like 4 years old anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll live and then move on, and they'll be in Cancun. But yeah, so let's
enjoying the heat.
Let's hope for good playoff games the rest of the week, and a good boxing match in Paul versus Mayweather, and hopefully we'll have some good content on the pod for episode 19. But appreciate it. Interact with us, keep engaged, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.